And I'm sure it has some fret buzz. It's going to have. That's enough fret buzz to make it go through the amp. I like my action fairly high, but I'm trying to get it low on this one. So what you want to do is go ahead and take the truss rod cover off. If I had the screwdriver to take it off with me. Alright, there's the screwdriver. Some nice fabric, clothes fabric down in there. Alright, now you want to get a capo and you put it on the first fret. And I usually go where the neck meets the body. Some say the 12th fret, but I usually do it right about here. It's just an old gift card, and I usually do it around the 5th fret. And as you can see, I can't even get it in there at all. So what we want to do is back this off just a hair. Now we're getting somewhere. Need to go just a hair more. Yeah. Like I said, I usually check around the 5th fret, but then I like to just check it around in here. So yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm gonna put the truss rod cover back on. This just shows you don't have to have professional tools to do this if you're on the go or somewhere and you forgot your bag or something. But this also shows you if your guitar starts to buzz, but usually you really don't mess with this. If your guitar is buzzing, the first thing you want to do is adjust the truss rod because it has a lot to do with it. It doesn't affect the action too much, but just enough where it keeps it from buzzing and everything like that. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If your guitar is buzzing, do not touch the bridge, move the truss rod. It's either too far this way or something's going on, because the bridge doesn't move unless you move it. But the neck moves by itself because it is wood. That's the only thing that can move. If you never touch this, then chances are it's going to be the neck. And that's about it. But yeah, this thing plays good now. Like I said, this is just a guide to get you by, or if you're on the go and you don't have enough time to have it set up by somebody. And actually, as you've seen, you really don't have to have professional tools, in my opinion. If you're setting up somebody else's guitar, I recommend using professional tools, but my own, I would do this because I have been doing this and it works for me. And as you see, this is a cheap guitar and I set it up just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people will get them and they'll just adjust the bridge and they'll say, oh, it's buzzing, these frets are uneven and all this stuff. But they don't realize that cheaper guitars like this, they don't set up. This truss rod was over tightened, really. So the neck was probably like this, and I was getting a lot of buzz. So what we're going to do now is the intonation. If you don't know what intonation is, I'm not going to sit here and explain it really. Basically, the string needs shorter or longer on the saddles at the 12th fret. If you don't know what it is, go watch a video and learn how to do it. But this is how I do it. I just have a tuner up here. I've never had a problem using one of these tuners. I'm just trying to do this with stuff somebody would have laying around. So mine's Phillips head. So let's go ahead and hit a harmonic. Make sure your string is tuned up to pitch. And fret it at the 12th fret. Now, if it's flat, what you want to do is actually move the saddle forward, because what that means is, you know, the string is too long, so you got to move the saddle forward. So in my case, it's actually sharp, so we need to move the saddle back. Just want to go a little bit at a time, make sure it's up to pitch. You want to stretch the string a little bit, make sure it's seated. Almost there. This one was out actually pretty bad. So we're going to go a little bit more with that. Stretch the string. Alright, it is in. As you can hear. Also check it upright too, just to make sure. Yep, she's in. Go ahead and do the other ones and blow them out of the water. After all your intonation set the way it needs to be, I know a lot of people say that, you know, these have to be perfect, the saddles have to be perfect, you know, they got to be just like a Gibson. As long as this thing intonates, it doesn't matter. Now, you might have a problem with these cheaper guitars intonating if you haven't replaced the bridge. I have a wide Goto bridge, so I can really intonate this E string, because if you have the stock ones, you cannot intonate this guitar worth crap. So now we're going to talk about pickup height. Now I have to have mine a certain way because I have a heavy hand and I tend to play hard. And what happens if I set this at factory specs, the strings actually hit these and make marks in them, you know, especially if they have covers on them like my black one. So what I have to do is I actually take dimes, and all I do is on the bass side I use 3 dimes, and I use 2 on the treble side. Now I know that seems kind of crazy low, but like I said, if I don't set them low enough, or sometimes I even do it by feel and sound, if I don't set them low enough, like I said, my strings are hitting the pickup, because that's just how hard I play. I have a really heavy hand and I really bang on the strings. So normally I get a little bit of buzz anyway, but not through the amp, but the guitar itself. So I really abuse this thing. So I do have mine set down a little bit lower than normal. It does affect the sound just a little bit, but it's something you have to risk when you know, you can't stop playing heavy. I've tried playing light, but it doesn't you know, it doesn't work. And then you can go through everything, make sure everything works, your switch, you know, you can plug it in, make sure all that stuff works. I'm pretty sure I know this one works because I just got done playing it not too long ago. Then you can clean it up and make it look pretty. Something I'm not all into. I just play the thing. But like I said, this was a guide just to show you don't need fancy tools. You can do this at home, or if you have the tools, you can do this at home. Or if you're on the road and you don't have the tools to do it, and all you need is some change and a couple screwdrivers, a pick, and a capo, and a tuner, and that's all you really need to actually set this bad boy up. So before you leave hate, you know, this is my own guitar, so I usually set my guitars up by feel. But if I'm doing somebody else's, I actually follow the specifications that the company give for that particular guitar. But this is just to show you, you know, don't be scared. Just go ahead and do it. But make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.